Well, I would say definitely going to university played a big role in who I am today. I'm a first generation university student from both sides of my family, and going to university was, a step in a very different direction than my family background. So I'd say that was a pretty, pivotal moment to do that and to have that experience and opportunity. Really, it's an amazing opportunity to be able to go to a university and get a higher level of education and kind of become a professional and change your direction. Thought I might be interested in architecture. A family friend was an architect. My father was a kind of an entrepreneur and had built a bunch of buildings. And so I had been on job sites and, I kind of understood what architects did. So when I applied to university, I applied to schools that had architecture programs, and I was accepted into one. And first day of class, I thought, yep, this is it. I love it. And never turned back. I really, really liked the in-studio environment and the kind of the logical thinking combined with the creative thinking that worked quite well for me. At a certain point, when I did actually a 6-year B.Arch at Rice University. So that university, you do 4 years of undergraduate, then a year of work of internship, basically, and then you go back for a final thesis year. So when you finish that, you have a professional degree. And so when I completed that, I worked for 4 years in a small practice and simultaneously taught at the University of Houston in their first year program. And, I was juggling a lot between those two activities. And at a certain point, it became clear to me that I would like to go further into academia. So at that point, I think I made a shift in direction. Not that I didn't enjoy practice, I really did, but I had a kind of affinity for working with students. And I really, really enjoyed working with students and thinking through projects and problems and, developing coursework and lectures and all of these sorts of things that you do when you're teaching architecture. So there's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be hiccups in the road. Yep. There's always going to be this kind of, conflict of should I turn left or should I turn right, or am I doing the right thing, or, is this going the way that I want it to? That's just out there. And I don't think that is particular to our discipline. I know people from every walk of life, people who are, owners of shops to people that are, heads of CEOs of companies, and we all have those hiccups in the road. Life is just that way. It's how you deal with it. It's how you, how you deal with what's in front of you. Very strong visual thinker. And I was in a program as an undergraduate where visual thinking was not just taught, but emphasized. And we're a very strong studio-based program, and also within the fine arts. So every semester you took an architectural design studio and an arts studio, an architectural history course and an art history course. So visual thinking through all of that kind of history and studio courses sort of, again, it's something, the more you practice it, the better you get to it and the more attached you are to it. So I'd say visual thinking is a really important part of who I am, or who I've become. Say that collaboration was not something that came naturally to me. And I don't know, I think that students that go to schools that have, and I mean like starting from very young, and again, I've seen this with my own kids. My kids were in a Montessori, and working together and doing things collaboratively starts at 3. Like 3 years old, they start doing things in little groups, and everybody's got their part and they all have to work together to make it happen. My education was very, very opposite. It was more your kind of standard, kind of very academic, memorize it and repeat it and memorize it and repeat it and memorize it and repeat it. You know, this kind of testing standard thing. And that is a very individual thing, and it breeds competition, and it's not about working together. And then I have to say too, my architectural education, which is 8 years, 9 really, if you count the fellowship, not once in 9 years did I have a collaborative practice. Well, I think he's one of the world's great architects, from, you know, his generation. I've also had the pleasure of meeting him on a couple of different occasions. He was, I don't even remember how long it was ago now, maybe 20 years ago, he was here for a semester, and that was just a delight to have him around. He taught he did a series of lectures and kind of impromptu seminars, and truly a very, very generous in terms of his ideas and his engagement with the students and the faculty. He was a wonderful person. So, and of course, you know, as I think every architect on the planet is drawn to the work, it's so beautiful and so very well detailed, and the spaces are really moving. And I've had the opportunity and pleasure of being in most of his projects. I think I've seen most of them, not every single one, and I've been to quite a few several times. Keep showing up. You know, you keep asking yourself, do I like this? And, you know, not am I passionate about it, not is this going to be the rest of my life? Do I like it today? Do I like it tomorrow? Do I think I'll like it next week? And keep showing up and keep trying to learn something every day. Like, you know, go in there and think, what can I figure out how to do today that I didn't know how to do yesterday? Like, even if it's just like fix the Xerox machine, if anybody uses the Xerox machine anymore. But, you know, it's like there's so much to learn when you go into practice, and it's not all about, it all leads to better design.